societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. This story was passed along to me by a subscriber by the name Derek. I want to thank him for passing it along. In a world where every single day things just get more insane, the social conditioning of the masses just continues to go on without anybody even realizing that these movies, these television shows, the music that everyone listens to is all conditioning. Everyone's being conditioned. That's what this is here for. It is mass mind control. Now, apparently, there will be a reality TV show based off of the book and the movie The Hunger Games. Now, I never saw the movie The Hunger Games. Somebody offered me the chance to watch the film The Hunger Games or get punched in the face. I decided to take the punch in the face, and I still don't regret that decision. But reading the plot about what this is all about, it's absolutely frightening. And then reading this article about this reality TV show is astonishing. That people don't seem to have that big of a problem with this. Is this legal? Let me, for starters, tell you the plot if you haven't seen this abomination of a film. In what was once North America, the capital Panem maintains its hold on its 12 districts by forcing them each to select a boy and a girl called tributes to compete in a nationally televised event called the Hunger Games. Every citizen must watch as the youths fight to the death until only one remains. Now get a load. And this, at first I thought this was a publicity, but stunned. I didn't think it was actually going to be something that's real. But get a load of this. A brutal new reality TV show set to be launched in Russia has sparked controversy after its rules promised to allow fighting, murder, and rape. Huh? How is this even possibly allowed? Now, I get it. If they want to create buzz, they'll say, oh, we're going to actually have these things occur. And people will go, oh, well, sadly enough and sickly enough, people will probably tune in hoping that this happens because we live in a society that lusts for blood and violence. Wonder why. People will say, well, that's human nature. People are naturally like that. No. We live in a society that lusts for violence and murder because it's been conditioned to lust for those things through mind control. Every movie glorifies murder, glorifies mob mentality, glorifies fighting. Rape is something that they sexualize and don't act like they don't because they have movies like 50 Shades of Grey. Well, that's not technically rape, the S&M aspect of it. Let's be realistic. Soon they will be pushing rape and all of these things because it's going to be a society with no rules. So this TV show is called Game 2 Winter. It says, but what is Game 2 Winter? Where will it be filmed, and who is the wealthy Russian behind it? Here's all we need to know. Game 2 Winter will see 30 participants evenly split between men and women, armed with knives, and dropped into the Siberian wilderness for a 9-month survival test. Starting in July 2017, they will be competing for 1.3 million euros and are expected to hunt and fish for food in the bleak taiga forest in order to stay alive. The daring contestants, who must be over 18 and declared mentally sane, I don't know if you can be declared mentally sane if you're okay signing off a contract that says, listen, you might be raped and you might be murdered during the filming of this show, but hey, if you're mentally sane, just sign the contract. Oh, well, I might be raped, but alright, I guess I'll sign it. I mean, really? The contestants will be allowed 100 kilograms of equipment to last them until April 1st, 2018, and are not permitted to take in guns. They will have to pay 132,000 euros just to enter the show, and their trials and tribulations will be filmed by 2,000 fixed cameras and broadcast live online 24/7. So clearly this is marketed towards the wealthy people, because who has 132,000 euros to gamble away to go on this show with 30 other contestants where you could be apparently murdered or raped. Obviously, it's geared towards the elite. It's like that movie Hostel, right? Where people are being abducted and then tortured and murdered. The ones who are doing the torturing and the murdering were the elites, the ones who had money and were wealthy enough to buy humans and traffic humans, just like these child sex trafficking rings. Okay, it's geared towards the wealthy. So we have these probably extremely non-mentally sane people who are probably better off taking their 132,000 euros and going down to Las Vegas and putting it on red or black to double down their money 10 times over, because that's all they're pretty much doing is trying to, go from 132,000 euros, which is a lot of money, to over €1 million. Let's not factor out if there's 30 people times 132,000 euros. I guess this wealthy Russian guy who's making the show is keeping a lot of the money for himself, which is just, the whole thing is insane. Now, there's a show on TV called Alone in America, which is actually a good show if you're somebody who wants to learn about survival skills. They put people out in random spots out in British Columbia, and I guess they go to other locations as well, and they have to survive with just certain things they can bring, an axe, they can pick the things, gill net, fishing equipment, and they have to survive as whoever lasts the longest wins money. There's nothing in there about rape and murder. It's a survival show based on survival tactics. They show you how you can build shelter in the winter, how you can fish in the winter, what other, how you can live off the land, how you can heal wounds off the land, things that people really should know. It's actually pretty educational, because people should know that there's actually medicine out in our woods. If something does happen to you, instead we think we have to run to CVS and go buy Band-Aids and what other crap they sell that already has chemicals in it that are harmful to your body. Well, we could be living off the land naturally. So that's a good show, but it doesn't talk about murder and rape, where this show is promoting murder and rape. It's actually, that's how they're advertising the show. So these people who are going to put 132,000 euros in to win over €1 million are actually signing off on being okay with these things. Let me continue. As I said, it'll be filmed with 2,000 fixed cameras and broadcast live online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The Extreme Survival Show will be translated into English, French, German, Spanish, Chinese, and Arabic, and there has reportedly been interest from mainstream broadcasters in 5 countries to air it on television. Shockingly, you think it's shockingly? The rules for the contest originally stated everything's allowed. Fighting, alcohol, murder, rape, smoking, anything. However, after an outcry, the team behind the show removed the controversial rule, but so get this, but when asked if he will step in if there's physical violence, rape, or attempted murder, the millionaire behind the show, whose name I can't pronounce, but I'll just try to for the sake of doing it, Yevgeny Potovolsky, said, "No, we won't." So again, he was asked if they see rape occurring or violence, will they send somebody in to stop it or help? And he says, "No, we won't." So while he's no longer trying to push it as, hey, it's the Hunger Games, rape and murder is allowed because some people fought back and pushed back against it, he's saying, okay, it's still in the contract though, and if it happens, it happens. So do these people, if one of the guys on the show commits a murder or a rape, will the police, if there's local law enforcement watching on the live stream, should they go and arrest the guy? Or does it wait till the show's over when he gets his 1.3 million euros and then he gets arrested for rape? Or is all of this allowed just because they sign ridiculous waiver forms? And that's probably what they're doing. They're going, listen, you might be raped, but you can't, there's no, litigation, there's no going to jail, there's no nothing. As long as you survive our version of the Hunger Games. He says, I'm pretty sure there'll be fights and more. We're not scared of negative reaction if that happens either. He has also made it clear we will refuse any claim of participants, even if they were to be killed or raped. Okay, so I guess they have signed off on that. We will have nothing to do with this. This will be spelled out in a document to be signed by the participant before the start of the show. So then what do they need the Russian guy for? Shouldn't they all just go, hey, there's 30 of us who are willing to put in 132,000, euros. We don't need the show to be aired on TV. I mean, can't they just all go out there on their own, put the money in a big briefcase, the winner gets all? Or do they need to give, 50% of the profits to this Russian guy who's saying, listen, you might be killed or raped. at the expense of the show and its ratings. We're not going to jump in and help because it's going to make us more money through advertising. Or however, obviously if it's on 24/7, there'll probably be some type of advertising, maybe on the bottom of the screen, or they could put in certain knives and try to promote them. I mean, it's just insanity. However, Russian criminal laws will still apply, with contestants told the police will come and take you away if there is proof of criminality. Okay, so if there's proof, if you watch a guy on TV murder someone else, I mean, I guess that would be pretty good proof, right? So the police can come in. But the show is not liable, ladies and gentlemen. So what is the show? What is the point of having this Russian billionaire behind it if he's not liable, and if you do murder someone else, you're liable and going to jail? I mean, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And sadly, people are probably going to be tuning into this crap. You see the contestants. We have a Russian actress. Yeah, I'm sure she's Irina Agzilova, a swimming coach. She's wearing the black and white, by the way, in her photo. What a surprise. Give me a break. And she just happens to have a swimming coach who has 132,000 euros. And she's posing with her cleavage hanging out. I'm sure, what are they trying to hint at here? Look out, tune in, this girl might be raped or possibly murdered. And she's going to survive 9 months out there with grown men drinking alcohol and smoking out in the... I mean, come me a break. You could just see, I'll leave the article linked up. You can see the guy who's behind it, the billionaire Russian. But this is just, even the notion of this is also social conditioning, right? I mean, just think about how ridiculous this whole idea is. But people out there going, oh, that's pretty cool. That is cool. That'd be a great concept for a real show. And what did they do? They conditioned people with the book, but then the movies was really the mind control. Okay, because people watched it, they tuned in. Oh, this is great. Oh, they have sequels to it. And they don't realize that they were being conditioned the whole time for potentially having this happen in real life and making this okay. Just like Hostel with the human trafficking. I mean, it's unbelievable. And people, like I said, are going to go see this. And they're going to go, wow, what a great show. Hey, did you see the guy get raped and murdered last night? Give me a break. I'll leave the article linked up below. This world is just... the stuff that people are even talking about the fact that this is even being mentioned as a possible TV show. I mean, I wasn't alive in the 50s when the mind control television was still out. But you had your typical cookie cutter shows, which were there for brainwashing of what the typical American family was supposed to be, like Dick Van Dyke and Father Knows Best, those kinds of shows. The people watched it. Hey, honey, I'm home for dinner. Right? So that was all conditioning as well. But look where it's gone. Father Knows Best and Little House on the Prairie, and now we're talking about reality shows where people are raped and murdered, and people will be watching at home eating their popcorn. The world has gone mad. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.